All right, good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. Coming on a Monday because our executive producer was at the lake house that we're not invited to anymore, thanks to Dave. Um, week 8 review, week 9 preview coming up as always. With my co host, the commissioner, my son, Kids for the Win, Matthew Wentz. What's up, buddy?
How's it going? Yeah, you're not. No one. I mean, you're still invited. Like other people are invited to. Like Dave's not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. You can come. Scott can come. Other people like that. Niz maybe. But
Yes.
yeah, no.
No big breasted drunk women. You're not
Yeah,
allowed at the lake. Okay.
yeah. You
Thanks,
got it.
Dave.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for
But
being here. Special
Scotty.
announcement.
Well, real fast, Scotty is trying to get on. He's having some technical difficulties. If you're watching this, you can see his head. But he's trying to get on. There he is.
The
All right.
middle finger.
Little middle finger. So you can see more than his head. You can see his middle finger too. But on my way home today, we actually drove through a tornado, and my phone vibrated and it said tornado warning, hide and stuff like that. So I think, or I feel that we need to have a league message like that. And I have it's not like an alert, but it's a message for the league. Please, everyone, tell Ken to stop bidding on other people's guys. Ken, stop bidding on other people's guys. Check every aspect of the league first, then build on a guy. So I went back the last 2 years, and Ken's been doing this for the last 2 years. I mean, hey, there's Scotty.
Double Scotty.
Double Scotty. It's kind of creepy.
Scotty
There you
doesn't know.
Can
One's
you
really
guys hear me now or
close.
no?
Oh, we hear you.
Nice.
Nice.
I muted your other one.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
just signed off for that one.
All right.
That's even better
Perfect.
then.
Awesome. Welcome, Scotty.
Okay. Welcome everybody.
But our public service message for the league is Ken, please fucking stop bidding on other people's guys.
Well, especially when you ask for a tab on the Google Docs specifically for that reason. But he wasn't on the AAA, but he's been on.
He's actually on a roster. He's on a roster. Like if you go to search for that player, he would show up on Niz's roster.
Yeah, Ken, I don't want to go ahead and bid on Vlad anymore just to prove a point. So stop it.
All right. So speaking of player news, more Dallas Keuchel news. Apparently, Yankees are looking at him. I'm sure some other contending teams are interested in him. So it'll be interesting, if he's going to get a deal or if he's going to take less money.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of talked a little bit about this last time around, but I really have zero interest in Dallas Keuchel or any other player that is not like.
He's an active bidder on the message board right now.
Yeah, $3 to PJ.
But you got a 30-year-old starting pitcher. For those of you guys rebuilding, I'd be all on this. For this year, I don't know. He's gonna sign with someone, have 3 bad starts, and maybe figure things out. But yeah, I looked at him hard this year, and I said no.
Actually, what Scotty just said, this year, no. But for someone like a 30, you're right. For $3-4, I could see that. I see that for like the future. Why not? That's a good idea. Not a good idea. It's a good idea.
Better than he's got a better chance than most of these prospects of being good next year.
Yes. Well, yes. I'd agree.
Which kind of leads us into your topic of value, Maddie.
Yeah, so I think this word value has been thrown around a lot, and I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it. I think me and Scott and the 3 people that are on right now probably talk more so than any other 3 people in the league, And I thought we could have a little bit of a good discussion on it, and this kind of is why Scotty's on from the beginning. But I put down value, and what do people look for? Drafting or the bidding process, either or. Same guy in offers, not knowing the value of players is a big topic that's coming up, and then value is too high. So I did a little research, and I know we're going to talk about trade later with our teacher Scott. It's a segue into that segment, or a preview, if you will, of that segment, foreshadowing. But one of the trades that was happening, and it's going to go to right now, is it was Niz and Dave. They had a trade, right? So it was 1 year Freeman and 1 year Turnbull. Dave gave that to Niz for $9, 2-year McMahon, 3-year $9 Frazier, and AAA $1 Bo Bichette, right?
Yes.
And I didn't see Dave as a prospect guy, and I still kind of do, kind of don't. But I talked to Dave after, like, he was bidding on all these other prospects and some of the pitchers he was bidding on, you know. So stay with me here. This is going to be kind of go off in a tangent, but come right back to it. And he explained himself to me. He was telling me about the pitchers he liked. He kind of was like going on and on about them. He had some good, you know, stuff on him, and, you know, and I think at the end of the conversation, he was like, they might work out, they might not. He goes, this is the chance I'm taking for it. I got the money and I might as well do it now. It's kind of what he said. So I was like, okay, no problem. And then I was like, but McMahon sucks. Like, I'm glad I got rid of him. He's like, he could, you know, then we kind of talked about him. And then I'm like, you know, Frazier. And then I'm like, he kind of was talking, the way he was talking, he was like, man, you really like Frazier. So I went back and looked at it. Last year, Dave started the bidding on Frazier. Niz ultimately won him. Of course he did, because Niz and Dave probably talk a lot. And, you know, if Dave liked the guy so much, Niz probably looked him up. And he's like, yeah, this guy's good. I'm going to bid on him. It's kind of how I think of it. But Dave and PJ argued about Frazier. And then Scott, you were in on the mix too, for like days. It was insane. Like I even went back and looked at some of the other things that like Niz was telling me. He's like, don't you think this guy's good? And I even chimed in, and I said that Frazier had more of an upside, because you guys are talking about Frazier versus Adam Eaton, right? So looking back at Dave's trade with Niz, I think that we all could have been like, ultimately, if Dave was out of it, we knew Dave was going to try to get Frazier from Niz. It was going to happen. It was inevitable. He liked that guy so much last year that, you know, he had a value on that guy that was as high as it was. Now, did his value change over the year? No, it just got stronger, because now he's playing, and, you know, he hit 2 home runs the day he traded him. And I think if we look at that, you know, I'm not trying to discourage people from vetoing. That's not what this message is about, or what this kind of talk I want to have is about. But people have different values on people all the time. And Dave liked Frazier back then. He liked him today. PJ still does not value prospects. Back then, he's like, you guys and your prospects, blah, 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 blah. Well, PJ, we're in a league with AAA guys. We're in a league that next year we have 2 AAA guys. So get the fuck over it and either change your strategy or don't say shit. And then Scotty didn't like the value of the bid, $9. He thought it was too much, which, you know, I don't know. It might have been at that time. Maybe I'm not really sure about that. But looking back at that trade, I'm not saying it's a win for Dave or a loss for Niz. We can talk about that later, because we're going to grade it. But I think Dave looked at it. He saw Bo Bichette. He said he liked him, and he loved Frazier. So Dave got exactly what he wanted out of that trade. And
well,
I think
when it comes down to it, we can't tell who to value. Like, I value Byron Buxton like a crazy man, and he's finally paying off a little bit. But everyone has their own values, and who am I to say your values are wrong or so forth? We're about to have a segment that says grade the trade, but that's based on my own values, and I'm going to preface it with that. So we can't really, like, based on my value system, certain trades are going to be completely one-sided or something. But based on your value system, it might not be. And that's what this is all about: is the winner of the league is the one with the best value system, right? Or who gets lucky.
nothing. Whoever gets lucky.
So a little bit of both.
It is. It's a little bit of both. But I just want to throw that out there, that we're talking about value and everything like that, and I think it was thrown around so much. I mean, look at it, and then going back to this, like, even like at the draft, I still go back to thinking about it, and it was me, Dave, and Drew bidding on what's the Atlanta guy's name? Why can't every time it comes out? What?
Acuna Jr.
Yeah, Acuna, and you said this guy. You're like, why are you guys bidding on that guy like that? I'm like, because he's like hyped. He's like I mean, as of right now, going to next year, Acuna is probably viewed as a top 5 overall player in a redraft type of format. And Drew's got this guy. I think he's got $26 on him. You know, and who's to say that's high or low or whatever it is, but it was value at the time. I think, you know, word again. So, I mean.
Well, you think the whole draft, and that only one guy gets every player. So the one who values that player the most is the one who wins them. So it's
not necessarily, because we have money involved in it.
Yeah.
So he could value. I could value him higher.
If you value him at 10, I get him.
What?
If you value him at 9 and I value him at 10, I get the guy. You know, it's what an auction is. It's whoever values him the most gets him.
No, it's not, because I valued, I think, what's his name? Ozzy Albies more. I just didn't have enough money for him.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, so that was the thing. And then especially this year, I valued, oh my God, I valued Glasnow probably more than Sean did. I valued, I valued a lot of people more. I just had different, I guess no one valued Pete Alonso more than I did. I was just saying, like, looking back at it, and then, like, kind of taking what I'm talking about here, people valuing certain players on it, and then going out and getting a player. Like, if Drew was to say, I want to trade, Acuna, if I were him, I'd go to the two people that were bidding on him from the beginning, and some of the people that did not like him, I don't even know if I would go to them, because maybe they like him now, maybe they don't like him. And it just, going back to, like, me and Dom's trade, like, I don't know if, like, I didn't go to the people that I knew, the people that didn't want Herrera. I didn't go to them because this is what I have to offer. So I'm not going to go to those people. That's another thing too to look at in this whole thing, value. So I don't know, you guys say any more if you want. If not, that's fine too. I don't know. It was an interesting thing when I went back and looked at Frazier. I was like, man, I did not even know that Dave valued him or liked him that much, if you will.
I think it comes down to is, if you like it, if you feel like you got what you wanted out of the trade. I think that's what people are missing, is that the people involved ultimately.
Well, I'm not talking about trade.
I'm
talking just about players' value and what they feel of it. But either way, it's the same. It leads in the same thing.
Yeah. All right.
Well, and when I make a comment, and I let everyone knows I like making comments on every trade that goes on. It's more. I'm just giving in my own commentary about how I value. I'm like, oh, that was one-sided in my opinion, and I don't need to be doing that. But it's just banter, So I didn't veto any trades this year yet. So, like, you're right, the veto is a different story, but basically,
it's different. I'm talking about just valuing
value and how people value things.
Yeah,
and that's what trading's all about, is finding someone that someone else values more than you do. And the reality is, most people on your team you value a lot because you were willing to spend the most of the draft. Correct. That's why the trades are hard to make, is because I got whoever on my team, Polanco is on my team, so I valued him more than anybody. So for me to trade him is going to be tough because he's on my team because I value him the most.
Like Austin Riley. I tried to trade him to almost everyone last year. There's only two people I didn't try to trade him to. No one wanted Austin Riley last year. Anybody want him now? I'm sure you do.
Coming. He's a lucky start.
No, get the fuck out of here.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
Keep them going.
All right, let's get on to what everyone's watching, why we're here. We'll start off with your and Maddie's.
We don't have to. Let's move on to the next one. Just move on to the next one. Just move on.
No, you're not. You're just executive producer. I'm the host here. A one-sided affair.
Well, if you cheat,
8-1, Scotty. Scotty, everything but RBIs and stolen bases. You guys tied in stolen bases. Maddie, great job with RBIs, 46, really nice. Homers, it was separated by 1. Same with quality starts. Scotty, outstanding whip. Didn't pitch Noah, kind of worried about him. What's going on with that? But a defeat, a nice win for you for sure.
I'm a little disappointed, to tell you the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
That I gave him a half point in saves and RBIs. It's pathetic that I was able to give such a crappy team 1.5 points. And I feel like any other week I would have won 10-0.
Wow.
It was disappointing. So, but
hey,
I tried hard.
Yeah, I did. It was actually the whole week. It was we were talking about it. The whole week. It was back and forth. It was 5-5, 4-4 for almost every day.
Nice.
In all seriousness, like, I think Dave said this, like, when you have a good season, a lot of times you win these big games on Sunday. And I've been getting really lucky this year. Sundays have gone my way this year. So there's been a lot of Sundays I've come in losing and I end up winning. Like, we could have, if Maddie had a good Sunday and I had a bad Sunday, it would have gone the other way. So.
Yeah,
it was a close matchup.
Scotty even texted me. He's like, "What's with your guys sitting on Saturday?" I had 5 guys all sit on Saturday, and I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. They'll all play on Sunday," which all of them but one did. but I was still like that. I haven't seen that in a long time, or I don't know if I've seen like they were. I mean, everyone on everyone's team for the most part is a star player. I mean, they're not many people have like backups on their team. Some people do. I mean, we have whatever. But I'm just saying, like it was weird to see that many people sit on a Saturday, and then I got one starting pitcher that didn't go on Sunday. So, but like you said, yeah, you got hot on Sunday. You got hot.
Yes.
I tip my cap to you.
Well, there'll be another matchup, I'm sure.
There is. It's at the end of the season too, and it's gonna counts.
All right. Very good, Scotty. Very good way to take care of that business on Sunday. It would have been interesting to see how you would have been yesterday with both of you being intoxicated. Would have been see if it would have been the nice banter. We would have a nice little banter like we did tonight compared to last night.
If we should just post our text chain.
Yeah, nothing like trying to put my son to bed half drunk, and then I was whispering into Elliot's ear, "Tell Scotty he's not good. Scotty's not good. Tell him he doesn't know. He doesn't know." It was weird.
Maddie wanted me and him just do like a 10-minute one of last night without you because you were at the pool. He's like, let's just do an improv one. I'm like, yeah, a drunken improv. Shoot from the hip. I'm like, no. So, all right, we'll go on to me and Chris's matchup. All Chris, 7-3 for him. Little down for me with RBIs, only 34 this week. 16 homers for me. Took OBP, took saves, but ERA and WHIP were horrible. Lost by 1 in quality starts. Got 1 stolen base this week, so that's 2 weeks in a row at least of getting a stolen base. So I am coming around. So yeah,
I get the homers again, buddy. I mean, everyone's getting home runs now, which is crazy. Nate texted me, not to get off the subject, but he texted me that 5 teams had 15 home runs or more. That's just that's insane.
Like Chris beats me. He had 42 RBIs. Rizzo and Rosario each had 10. That was almost half his RBIs came from 2 guys.
Yeah.
And then he obviously has Bell, but Bregman one RBI this week and Machado none. So like you said last week, gonna have those weeks. But those happened to Rosario and Rizzo having 10 RBIs each. That accounted for almost half his RBIs.
Wait, they each had 10 RBIs?
Yes.
Well, both you guys had outstanding offense. Like, Domino, your offense is great. And what can you do when your 2 aces get blown up in the week when your pitching has been struggling, and now you got Carrasco and Bauer had shitty weeks?
That's the 3rd week in a row Carrasco has a shitty week. So do we still value him as a top 20 pitcher anymore, or whatever he was?
I got rid of him today, so I was working really hard to get rid of him today, and to both of you and Sean.
That's good. That's good.
He'll be fine after the trade. He'll go back.
Oh yeah, he's gonna pitch. He's gonna go complete game shutout.
He'll watch some Tommy Mansky videos. He'll be back to being good again.
But yeah, Domino, like Scotty was saying, your offense is good. I mean, what can you say? I mean, yeah.
Speaking of offense improving, your OBP might actually improve. You might actually be able to compete every week now.
Yeah.
You move your trades.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and Chris's offense is crazy scary. He's doing all of this without Jose Ramirez, and if that kid ever gets going, I think Chris is one of those the sleeping giants right there. Him and Memo they're playing each other this week again, but I feel like both of those guys should be much higher based on when looking at their teams.
And he's got Turner back, and then Bellinger. He's got a lot of power there. He's got Hicks back, so yeah, a lot of power there. Good offense for sure.
Yeah, Dave. Chris. I mean, I think Chris has got stolen bases in the bag almost every week. With Turner and Rosario's giving 1 or 2. For crying out loud, he's getting 1 almost out of everybody every week. So
yeah, he's got Max. If he plays Max, he's in trouble there. But
maybe.
I don't know. But
I would put Turner up against Mondesi.
Yeah.
It'd
He's
be
healthy.
close. What's the next one?
all right, Sean and Memo, nice solid win for Sean, 7-2.
Sean's played some shitty teams. Sorry,
yeah.
Memo. I'm not saying your team's shitty, but
Yeah. All offense, pretty much a clean sweep. They
70 Ks. Fucking A.
They tied in stolen bases 4-4, and only really bad thing for Sean was, one save, but Memo had none, and 2 quality starts for Sean. But like you said, 70 Ks, ERA of 2.86, really good. 47 runs, 16 homers, 42 RBIs. That's a solid team. Solid. Tommy Mansky team's doing fundamentals for sure.
Right. The one thing I wrote up down about Sean's team is how do you have such a great pitching week with such a good ERA, such a good WHIP, all those Ks, and just 2 quality starts? Like, is that just unlucky, or does he have guys that just don't go through it a third time of the order? And so I don't know if that's a problem. I didn't look back at the trends of that, but it was something that I noted was that the lack of quality starts.
Well, I was looking at it too. So what it was like, so Price only lasted 5 and some odd innings, and he got pulled. It was just one of it, and he was pitching a gem. Suppose he's like sick, and then Jake Odorizzi must have just he had a 2 start, but he only pitched 10.1 innings, and he had 15 strikeouts, and he had a 0 ERA in the whole thing. You put those two together, it's a total of only 15 innings with 20 strikeouts and a 0 ERA. So that's huge for him right there. With just those 2 guys, and then Musgrove bombed for him, but he only pitched 5 innings, and then
Beeves went 5 innings with 10 Ks.
Yeah, Lester only went 5, and Kenta Maeda only went 5 innings. So his guys were getting pulled. Now the games they played in, I think Kenta Maeda, and Musgrove, both of those games I think were like high scoring games. So like I don't know, but they were both pitching well. So if you could win ERA and WHIP and strikeouts, but if you're going to have more quality starts, I don't know. It's a thing. I just can't, like Jake Odorizzi. Just going to Sean's team. So Sean, over the past couple of weeks, he's picked up Julio Teheran, and Teheran he had a 2 start, but he went 10 innings only, 10.2, and it was unbelievable. 7 strikeouts, 1.69 ERA, and a 1.13 WHIP, which is not good. Jake Odorizzi picked up him 2 weeks ago. Amazing. Who else did he pick up? Lyles. Jordan Lyles. Is it Lyles? Yeah, Jordan Lyles. He hasn't played him yet, but Jordan Lyles has been on fire lately. So I don't know. He's picking these guys up, and they're doing really well for him. Mix him with Hendricks, Lester, Maeda, and Price. And then Beaver's unbelievable for him, just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Sean's team is pretty scary right now, to tell you the truth. He's one of the front runners for sure. He's first place, so he's the front runner.
Mm-hmm. I will say the one thing that I was looking at in his team, I mean, besides those pitchers we were talking about, I don't know. I'm not saying like I don't believe in some of these guys he's got, but I mean, Posey still is getting older. Is he going to last throughout the whole season, or is he going to be moved to first base periodically? I mean, he's still playing about 23, 23 at bats in a week. He's got a lot of Cubs on his team, at least those 2, Brian and Baez, and they've been on fire. Now he's got Seager. I mean, he's got a good team. I just don't know how, like, Kyle Schwarber, man, again, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs for him. So these guys do it for him every week.
He loves the Cubs.
He does love the Cubs. What can I say? And then Memo's team, man, I just some of these guys got to get going for him.
His big 3 all got quality starts. They only had 1 start each of them, but again, another week where he lost pitching. It'll be interesting what he does with these big guys, and what he's gonna get from them. All right,
yeah.
Scotty's pitcher's gone.
Oh, fuck.
Well, if he hits something, you can hear him.
We can't. He's blue. He's just blue.
I turned on low power mode, so I gotta.
Here, one thing I was gonna say real fast. I was just looking back at it again, and I don't know, just like week to week when you kind of look at it. I don't know. I feel like the day-to-day management of some of these people's teams is a little in question, I guess you could say, because what was it, 3 and 2, right? 3 and 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 2. Who were we just talking about?
Memo,
Memo and who?
Sean.
It wouldn't have made too much of a difference, but on 2 days, Memo had guys on his bench that played. And for whatever reason, and I don't understand it, he sent out a trade. Hey, does anybody want a shortstop? Brandon Rogers is up. To me, that would be like, hey, I'm going to play Brandon Rogers, but I have these other shortstops, or I like Brandon Rogers. So to me, if you have an opportunity to play him within a week, I'd play him over a guy that's not playing or doesn't have a game. And the course of last week, he did it again. 2 times we didn't play a couple of guys that are on his bench. Him and Ken are just been historically known for that. I mean, hey, you can ask Scotty. Scotty asked me why I'm playing Kirby Yates on my bench. I messed up. I hit that button on the apps that says start your starters, and it always takes the relievers and drops them down. It's my mistake. I did it for a day. I might have done it for 2 days, but it didn't hurt me. I don't know. If I've had an opportunity to play a guy that's a hitter that's on there, I do it. Maybe it's a strategy of his. I don't know. It's curious if throughout the course of a year, we've done this for 8 weeks now. We're in week 8, and every week, Memo and Ken consistently do that. It's just, I don't know. Strategy, maybe.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's just.
All right, Niz and Dave matchup 7-3 for Niz. An offensive heavyweight fight here, man. 46, 47 runs, 21 to 13 homers, 40 RBIs. I think Dave's sold off this week, but I think his offense looks a little better now than it did after the trade. I know Dave sold, and Niz with 77 Ks. I know he lost Springer that week. It's going to hurt, but Devers, my God, what a week for him.
Right. Well, this wouldn't lose to anybody this week. Look at those numbers. That offense, like someone might beat him in OBP, and someone might beat him in the ERA. But this is one of the best weeks I've seen all year.
And he still has, and he still played Billy Hamilton.
Strategy.
His OBP, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, God damn, have you seen what some of these guys did? Hunter Pence, 7 runs, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Like, he picked up a guy that was hot, and he's staying hot. And then Devers, you're right, Domino. Fucking name. Devers has 8 stolen bases on the year, I think. 8 or 9. How many's he got? He's got 7 stolen bases on the season. He had 5 last year. I did not. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw a stolen base profile in Devers at all. Last time I looked, when he had 6, I think it was. So no, we had 2, so he had 5. And he was on pace, I think, for 10 for the season, with 2 more. I mean, he's got to be on pace for more than that now. He's looking at like a 2020 season, maybe 15-15. I don't know.
He's come out. He started a little slow, but he is definitely on fire of late for sure.
Yeah,
definitely a good pickup for him. And
finally, good job to Niz for actually bringing up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., #1 prospect in all of baseball. Have him sitting on your bench. You paid a fucking $100 for him, and you've been trying to trade him to Dave since the beginning of the season. Why the hell did you spend $100 on a guy if you're not going to play him?
Nicely said.
Thanks.
Nicely said.
I've been drinking Old Milwaukee. That's the beer of the week, by the way. Old Milwaukee.
I'd rather you have not advertised that. We're gonna lose a rating for that for sure. The Athletic might drop us too. You haven't mentioned the Athletic this week, so you better get on.
I was gonna get to that later.
Okay. All right. On to Max and Drew matchup. 7-3 victory for Drew. I know Max sold off, but nice offense again.
Did he sell off?
Well, he sold. He went for a lot of prospects, so I would think he sold. Do you
Maybe.
not think so?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he was telling me he wouldn't give up his closers because he felt like he had a chance to. So I have no idea. I don't know if he did or not. I don't. He might have. He might not have.
Yeah, he just chose to give you all his good players for nothing, and he's not giving up. I see.
He did get Walker, so that alone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Well, then why is he picking up guys right now? Why is he picking up all those guys right now?
Oh, I'm just joking. He's just retooling. He's playing the game.
Yeah,
He's got his own values.
I mean, talking about bringing somebody up, Max, you should listen to my words and bring up Tatis Jr. You would have been a lot better if you would have had him in the beginning of your lineup from the beginning of the year. So, but his weekly matchup. Sorry, we're getting in tangents here.
But Drew, his little interesting strategy. Max fell behind in ERA and WHIP, and Drew set everyone and punted K's and quality starts, but in order to get ERA and WHIP, and paid off for him, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I did pull the Scotty there.
Because definitely Max had a good week, So Max, if he would have played him, I don't know how it would have played out, but I'm not sure he definitely wouldn't have caught the quality starts. Maybe he would have got a K or two, but yeah, it was a good strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Max lose stolen bases.
I know.
Right, Malik Smith with nothing, but yeah, you look at his team and they have some stolen bases. So I think he's just going for that the runs and the stolen base strategy, getting rid of his boppers. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to try to pick up some more of those run guys, like Tommy La Stella. 3 a.m.
Yeah, nice strategy by Drew. We'll see if he'll be implementing that next week or this week against
He won't.
We'll get on that a little later, but yeah, no saves for Drew again. So see if he is in the market of buying saves or if he's just gonna continue to punt those. We shall see.
We shall see.
All right, last matchup of the week. Ken and PJ at 5-5 tie. All offense for Ken and all pitching for PJ. You don't usually think of Ken's offense as being typically good, but is better this week against PJ. Home runs were close and stolen bases were close, but everything else pretty low. 11 homers, 9 homers compared. So
pretty shitty matchup for both of these guys, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing too. It was really bad.
By anybody, someone won with a 1.67 WHIP. I don't think that's probably the highest WHIP that's ever won. So if PJ's got to take advantage of these easy matchups, or he's not going to be making the playoffs, especially when he's got Chris and Memo sitting behind him.
Yeah, he did 6 quality starts, but his 46 Ks for the week. Another low week for him. He's kind of up and down. But yeah, PJ's gonna need some help if he's gonna make a deep playoff run or wants to make a deep playoff run.
Right.
This is a week he should have made some distance between everyone and wasn't.
You see how many more at bats PJ had than Ken?
25.
25 more. I mean, that's substantial. I think. I feel like
3 extra players.
Yeah.
Having 4 at bats. So yeah.
So looking back at Ken's team, I don't think he changed his lineup once because he said David Dahl. Oh, he did. He had David Dahl on the bench the entire week. I'm not sure why you would have David Dahl on the bench the entire week. Yep, still has David Dahl on the bench. Still has David Dahl on the bench. Yep.
David Dahl had a pretty nice week too.
Yep, he did. Oh, he hasn't been on the bench again on Wednesday, Tuesday. David Dahl on the bench again. He did go 0 for 4, but he was on the bench. He could have played him. And then, yep, every day he had David Dahl on the bench. Good job, Ken.
Nice job, Ken.
All right, and that wraps up week 8. And we move on to our guest topic of Scotty. Grade the trade with teacher Scott Burnett.
Right.
So enlighten us, Mr. Professor.
Well, there's just been a lot of talk about like, hey, values, like Maddie said. So this
Did we all hear that?
Like
No.
Maddie said, Maddie's a smart man sometimes now. And so we're just gonna have a little bit of fun with it. Like once again, I'm not trying to say, hey, you guys made a bad trade based on your values, but I'm just kind of trading it based on my values, and we're gonna all kind of give a grade to all the trades that have happened this year. And I'll give you just my input. Once again, I'm not saying you did a bad trade. That's just that I'm just gonna grade it based on how I feel it was. Like, so here's how the grade's going to work. If I feel like it was a completely fair trade both ways, I'm giving it an A. It's a good trade. There's no winner, no loser. Okay, an F is like one person just got completely S rated. So
like your trade with Ken.
Yeah, that one, and I would agree that anytime in any trade that I make, like I'm hoping that I think I'm going to win it. I'm not going to make a trade unless I think I've won that trade. So
absolutely,
I'm going to give a trade based on my values, and then Matt and Dom going to chime in based on their values and so forth. So
we're just going to grade the trade as an overall. We're not going to say who won it. We're not going to say who the F is going to.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, good.
We'll say if I give it an F, I'll tell you why I give it an F. Right? Okay. So we'll go through it quickly. I know we've already lasted a long time here. So first trade of the year was me and Maddie.
Wait. There was trades made before this. So this is we picked a starting point. Yeah, there was.
That was the first in-season trade.
No.
When I looked at it, was maybe I didn't go back far enough.
Oh, did you go back like just transactions?
I just went to transactions and trades.
Really? That was our trade was the very first trade. That seems kind of crazy.
Do you got other ones in there?
Hold on, let me see real fast. 1 second. Trades. Hold on. All teams.
All trades.
Yeah, Alex Wood and PJ. They made a trade. Alex Wood for Eduardo Escobar.
I didn't go that far.
That was the first trade. That was the first trade. And then it was ours.
Okay, well, I didn't grade that one.
Let's grade it. Alex Wood from Dom to PJ for Eduardo Escobar. Dom, do you have Eduardo Escobar on your team anymore?
No, I traded him.
Oh, you traded him. Do you still have Alex Wood?
Yes, he's on the DL.
And Eduardo Escobar is ranked right now 64 overall. He has like a 300 OBP, 340 OBP, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs. He is a very good player. He's a top 6 third baseman and almost a top 5 shortstop.
So I'm thinking about like when the trade was made. Okay, was Escobar at the beginning of the season? Was he gonna be that? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
From now, so I'll give this one a B. You know, at the time it was pretty fair. Like there's no clear winner at the time.
Well, don't get mad, Domino. But I mean, again, Alex Wood was on the DL while this trade was made, or he would have been if it was when the season started. He has resumed flat ground throwing, and it's hoped that he can get back in the mound. I mean, I'd give it even at the time, I probably would still give it a C. So C.
Okay, C in the favor of
PJ.
Of Matt of PJ. Know what? And Domino made the trade, so he obviously likes it.
I hope he does.
Yeah, and obviously looking back at it, we can give it an F but that's looking back.
Yes, obviously we can give it an F. Again, I did not think Eduardo Escobar was going to be this good. Nor did anybody else.
No, at the time it didn't seem like a very fair trade. Maybe a slight winner here or there. That's why I was giving it a B. Nothing crazy.
Next one, me and you.
Trade. Max Muncy for Garrett Hampson. Okay, at the time, I was pumped about this trade. I gave up a guy who I knew nothing that was just, they was slumping at the time. He was already slumping, and I got a guy I wanted. So I'm giving it a C at the time in favor of me. I feel like I got the big advantage of it, but as I would because I made the trade. So at the time, I gave it a C, and as it's going on, it's an A plus. I mean, an F minus, I guess. It's completely one sided. A guy that's dropped, and you got to pay for it for 3 years for a dude that's a top 100 guy.
Yeah, and I think at the time I probably would have gave it. I was buying low, or maybe buying high. No, I was buying low because it wasn't doing much, and I was selling high on Muncie. So I would give it at the time. I think you won the trade more like a B, and I got it as like a C minus. And now I view it as like a F. Fucking, you're a dumbass, me, and you just rate me.
Right, but it's easy to look back at trades, and there's quite a few that go from. I'm trying to rank them at the time of the trade.
Yeah, but even so, at the time, I still think that like I wanted to give up as much as I could because I thought I was going to get more in return later on.
Yeah.
So even at the time, I think you still won the trade at the time. At the time, you definitely won the trade because he wasn't doing anything.
Right.
So I give you a B at the time. To you.
Perfect. Oh, and next one we'll go through this. This already a long one. So and Domino, jump in if you want.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This one, the next one that we're gonna do. Sorry, I'm gonna jump in. It was Michael Franco and Sonny Gray. Domino did this trade. I thought at the time, Franco was looking really good. Sonny Gray just like was talking in the media again about like what he was doing. I'm still gonna give this. This was one of the most I think fairest trades out there. They're both $1 guys. They're both 1 year. I mean, not $1. Yeah, I think they're both $1. Both were a year guys. I needed a third baseman badly because I traded Muncie to you and I didn't have any more anymore. And Don needed more starting pitching at the time. I give it an A plus. I think it was fair on both sides. Really good trade for both of us.
I know Franco came out of the gates just guns blazing. He's obviously at time you were really happy, but now he's gone back to his old ways again. But I thought at the time it helped both of us what we both needed at the time.
And I gave this one an A as well. There was both upside. Franco was off to a hot start, hot prospect. Sonny Gray, he's had success moving to the National League. So yeah, I put an A on that one too. Pretty fair both ways. I know Gray's been up and down, and Franco's been mostly down since, but it was fair at the time.
Well, even in being down, like I switched Franco and I was playing him in utility here and there, and I mean he was doing okay for me. It wasn't great, but I mean he was doing what I needed him to do, and so but then I brought in Austin Riley, and anytime Austin Riley sat for like the 2 weeks or the week he was up, and then Franco got in, so it was still a good guy off my bench.
All right, next one we had Ryan Braun. Going to, where'd he go? To
Sean and Dom. Ryan Braun went from Dom had Ryan Braun. Sean had Odubel Herrera. So
I gave this one an A just because at the time I didn't really care about either one of those guys, to tell you the truth. I was like guy for guy. It didn't seem unfair, So I said A. It was just guy for guy that I didn't care about.
I think this, like, again, like going back to like quote unquote value. So I couldn't tell you what Sean's strategy is any year. I to this day I still don't even know what his strategy is ever. Like sometimes I have an idea what people are doing. Sean, I couldn't even tell you. So why he wanted Brian Braun when he already had like 2 first basemen and like 5 outfielders? God, I don't know. And Philadelphia's offense was hot as hell, and Odubel Herrera was hitting like 5th in that offense. But he traded him to Domino, and Dom and I talked about this trade back then. We thought it was like an ass raping. Like, why did you give up? But Ryan Braun's been hot lately, and Odubel Herrera is now sitting on the pine for fucking Scott Kingery.
Right.
So, I mean, at the time, I gave it like a B for Domino, like a D for Sean. But looking at it in hindsight, and now I might even give it an A. Yeah. Sorry, Domino. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what he's been doing.
Oh yeah, he wasn't even playing every day at the time when I traded him. He wasn't even playing. I thought Herrera was going to be batting 5th and 6th every day in that lineup, and it hasn't been the case. He's been struggling all year. So
And I'm not saying like Ryan Braun's like been amazing. I mean, he's still like, right in that like 160 to 100, well, maybe 170, 190 range of as a player, but still he's been more serviceable than Odubel Herrera. So
True.
Yep.
Okay. Next trade we had
Mm-hmm.
between Maddie and Domino, J.A. Happ for Sean Doolittle. I think when I saw that trade, I think I'm giving it a B in the favor of Maddie just because J.A. Happ was 2 years. I thought Doolittle for Happ was a pretty fair trade. You know, you got a really good closer for a decent top 25 starting pitcher. It was on it started down. But yeah, I feel like because J.A. Happ was 2 years at $5, Maddie won that trade a little bit.
I not 100% got AJ Happ because I wanted to trade him and flip him to Dave, but it was like 80% of it because I knew Dave would want him, and at the time I thought Dave was talking about selling, so I thought I could get some for him, and I ended up flipping AJ Happ to Dave anyways for a 4-year contract, but that was here nor there. Actually, the 2-year contract, I didn't even know AJ Happ was on a 2-year contract. You can ask Dom that. I was pretty drunk when I made that trade. And the next morning when I woke up and I saw that I accepted it. I said, "Oh, I accepted that trade." He said, "Yep." And I said, "I didn't remember that." And I don't even know that I didn't know he was on a 2-year contract. And I told Dom to go fuck himself.
And that's why that's why I threw the money in. I told you,
yeah,
in order to help you get
when
over
I saw that he was throwing money, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'll take money. Why not?" And I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that sucks." But yeah, I mean, I needed pitching, and I didn't. This is where it comes out, but I was just listening to the Athletic, and they were talking about Doolittle and how he shouldn't be the closer in Washington. He's not really meant to be the closer. He was never really meant to be the closer. It's just that it was more like luck that he was there. There's no one else there. There's no one else good enough, and that's really typically that's what it is. It's what it's been. And I don't know why PJ thinks that he's a top 5 closer or 10 closer, whatever he said he was, because I don't believe that he is. Because his last 2 outings.
Bias.
What?
Washington bias.
Maybe so, but his last 4 innings, his whip is exactly this: 3, infinite, 0 and 5. His ERA is 9, infinite, 0 and 18. He has 3 saves in that time and 3 strikeouts. So I still think he could be a good closer, maybe a top 10. If everything goes right from this point on, maybe. But I still value him. I feel like he is a top 20 closer. But yeah, Domino, I think, won that trade a little bit.
Okay, we got next one is me and Ken. We're up to this week already. I gave him Canning and $16, and I got Thor back.
So you offered him more stuff in this trade, right? You offered him all your other prospects, and you could have worked something else out with it, and he chose that guy.
That was I was surprised with that. I think Griffin Cannon's off to a nice start. I think he's a promising pitcher, but I was kind of surprised when I was negotiating with Ken that was the guy he chose over like Jordan Alvarez, who's, by the way, who's off to like the best start anybody's ever been off to in the AAA.
Wait. You got to preface that because the way you just said that was like that you would have gave him Jordan Alvarez instead of Griffin Canning. You wouldn't have done that.
It could have been in a package, I value
Alvarez
a lot, and his value keeps going up and up after every.
All right, Cy, this isn't a platform to sell your players.
So I'm just saying,
you wouldn't sell them today.
No, well, not for Carrasco, but at the time I'm looking at that, and I'd say that's a D trade that he could have gotten more for Syndergaard than what he.
I give him an F. I think I think you gave him something. I give you a B, and I give Ken an F. I think that's
overall it's a D. That's what I'm saying.
I got you. Okay,
it's not a fair trade.
No,
he could have got more. I think if he shopped Syndergaard other places, it wasn't his value. I don't think. I was clicking yes on that one pretty fast.
Yeah, I still don't understand Ken's value on guys. I've offered him multiple trades for Bumgarner, and every time he just says no, and I don't know why. You're not going to win it this year, Ken, nor will you probably ever win it any year, but you could have something of value back instead of having Bumgarner in your team. So you lost that trade, Ken.
Yeah. Okay, on to the biggies, right? We got Drew and Dave.
Here, I'll just spell this one out real fast because I had it all written down. So Dave gave up. Where's it at? It was Dave's trade? Oh, here it is. I got it. Right. Sorry. Dave's trade was so Dave gave 2-year $35 Clayton Kershaw, 2-year $58 Mookie Betts, 1-year $37 Charlie Blackmon to Drew for 4-year $1 Nick Senzel, 4-year $3 Gleyber Torres, and $15.
And I'm gonna give this trade an A. This is a pure, like, you didn't just sell for prospects either. These are proven dudes on good contracts. Senzel's already up, already performing. Torres is already up, already performing. You're hopefully not going to go through that prospect like, hey, he might not make it type thing. So he got 7, like, between those two guys on both on 4-year contracts. That's super long-term value plus $15. And then of course Drew's getting he's getting his value right now between Blackmon and Betts and Kershaw. So at the time I looked at that, I'm like, yeah, that's right there. So that's one of the more fair trades, I think, when you look at long-term value versus first-year value. I like this trade.
So you give it an A on like both sides?
Fair, equal. I'd say like they both got something out of it. You know, Drew's getting more value this year, and obviously Dave's getting more value long-term. So it's to me, this is a fair trade.
So the first thing I did when I saw this trade go through is I texted Drew and I said, you have exactly, as of right now, $80 for next year. And he's like, oh, I didn't see that. That's not how I was looking at it. I wanted to play for this year.
Right.
I go, well, then if you wanted to play for this year, why did you just get a 2-year $35 Clayton Kershaw? If whoever values him at $35, we need to have a talk about what that is then, because I would love to have that discussion with somebody. Because I give this trade A+ for Dave. I give it as in he dropped a $35 old Clayton Kershaw who's not going to perform up to standards. You got to pay. If you want to drop Kershaw, Drew will be hurting with Kershaw next year, and he's going to have to pay for that. That's $35. That's a lot of money. And if he only has $80, that means $15 is going to be going off the books next year's, or however he wants to do it.
But why is Kershaw not worth that money right now? He's got a 3.33 ERA, less than a 1 WHIP, almost a strikeout per inning. He's not $60 Kershaw anymore, but he's not $30 Kershaw.
No,
he's an industry risk.
I wouldn't pay. At the most I pay for Kershaw is maybe $15, maybe $15.
He's performing as a $30 player.
No, he's not. He's not.
330 with a less than a 1 WHIP and a strikeout per inning.
What did he do today? He didn't do that today.
Not today, but
what do you mean? When are you not today? Then that's what we're talking about. What did he do today?
Negative money because he got lit up once. Sales.
No, but he's not a 30. All right. So then you told me you would wait a minute. You told me you paid $25 for Carrasco a while back. Like, you value Carrasco as what? What is Carrasco to you?
He could be a top 10 pitcher. He's not right now, but he could be.
Okay, and then Kershaw and Carrasco are so how far apart are those two guys?
They're close.
So
like Kershaw's a bigger injury risk, but he's got the higher ceiling right now.
And he still has a herniated disc. The guy still has a herniated disc in his back.
I got that. The injury risk is there. That's for sure.
And he's so $35. So next year at the draft, every starting pitcher is available. You're telling me that $41. Wait a minute. Noah Syndergaard was $41. Kershaw was $35. Those are very close in price. We're not talking about what, $5, $6 there. And I view those guys as completely as far apart as possible.
Okay.
I mean, again, we're talking about value, so we won't argue more about that. But I think Drew was stupid to make this trade. Is how I'm going to put this. Is Nick Senzel and Gleyber Torres they're coming into their own. Gleyber Torres is the only Yankee on that team that's doing anything beyond, some of the other guys hitting pretty well. And, he's like carrying he's not carrying the team. He's doing really well. And Nick Senzel, the guy's a stud. Isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he could be. He's off to a hot start.
And he's got very well. He's got these guys for dirt cheap for 4 years. They're both highly highly touted guys. Next year, they're going to be in the top overall, I'd say 20 or 50 range of overall players. And I mean, Charlie Blackmon's hurt. He's 30-something years old. From what it sounds like, I don't know if he's going to play, at least this week, maybe next week. He's on the IL already. He's going to get
that was unknown at the time of the trade.
But no, wait a minute. It was not unknown at the time of the trade that he's going to go on the IL. Charlie Blackmon for the entire year has been saying he's playing through something. It was if you go on Twitter and you look it up and you follow this shit the way I do and you listen to The Athletic and blah 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 blah. He's an injury risk. Clayton Kershaw is an injury risk.
Yeah. Well, it's a risky trade for this year.
But it's not for this year. We just said it. They're both for next year.
Well, right.
It's not for this year. This was not a this year trade. It was not. I'm sorry. All these players except for one player was this year. They're all multiple year players. This is a multiple year trade. Okay, and just because Drew vetoed me, I hope this trade fucks him in the ass.
Little spite trade.
Oh, this is spite.
Me and Maddie are very decisive on that one.
I don't know why. Again, you sit on Gleyber Torres. You had Gleyber Torres. You got him 2 years ago or whenever you got him. He sat on the entire year, never brought him up when he came up. And then the next year he brings up because he has to. And then we're in May and he sells him off. Why would you do that? That's like Niz having Vlad on his bench and paying $100 for him. It's the exact same thing. Drew, you had all this money. Why didn't you just buy these guys at the beginning of the draft?
Fair enough. Okay, let's move on. So we're getting late. We
are getting late. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, we got me and Dave. I gave him Tucker and $5 for Wheeler. This trade was tough on me. I'll give Dave the advantage on this one. I lost this trade. I think I got him a B. Tucker's nice player. He's sitting on my NA, just wasting a roster spot. No one seemed to value him. I figured, hey, I could get the Wheeler. I got my pitching staff. So this one was a hard pick. Where Ken was an easy accept. This one was a hard accept because I like Tucker. I think if he was on a different team, he'd be up and playing and a 5-tool dude. So I think Dave's gonna reap the benefits of Tucker for a while, and I'm hoping Wheeler ends up being a stud for me. But he's kind of just a borderline top 20 pitcher. So we'll see.
I give it a B too. I think a lot of the things you said were correct.
Yeah.
Tucker, I don't know. You're right. I give it a B. I think Dave won a little bit, but same thing.
I think both trades have set Dave up very nicely for many years. So he definitely was smart on both of the trades. Definitely A's for him. You missed the Niz trade.
Oh yeah.
We kind of talked about it earlier.
That's my favorite one.
But the Freddie Freeman, Spencer Turnbull to Niz for Ryan McMahon, Clint Frazier, and what's his name? The prospect, Bo Bichette.
And I give this one an F.
For who?
For Dave. Dave got a guy in Clint Frazier who I wouldn't pick up if he was $1, it would be something. But for $9, forget about it. He might not even play once all the Yankees get healthy. Ryan McMahon, he's dropped in most leagues. And you got him for multiple years at actual money, not $1. There's very little value in either of those guys, if you ask me. If you could say, hey, just take those contracts, I'd say, I don't want that contract. I don't want that contract. Bo Bichette, he's a nice prospect. What is he, top 8? So he's just a guy. So, and you got a superstar in Freddie Freeman for that? I don't know, Dave. That was real one-sided. So that was my least favorite trade of the bunch.
I was kind of telling Niz and Dave the same thing too. Like if it was Freddie Freeman for Bo Bichette, I think that would have been a fair trade. Like that would have been fine. But wait, on top of it, hold on, wait. We didn't even say all the other stuff.
That would have been a C.
Sure, a fair, which is average, I guess. I don't know. You're right. I don't know. But I was just saying, like, Niz also gave up a 3-year, a 2-year, and a 4-year on this.
Yeah.
I mean, he just kept throwing stuff in on it. I don't know. I give it I think Dave slightly won it because I think Bo Bichette will be well. I think he will be good. He is in a AAA spot. And I think Spencer Turnbull is just a starting pitcher. He's a top 50 starting pitcher. He's got his ups and downs just like all the other guys. He's in that glob of pitchers that for 20 to 50. But Dave, you took on fucking Ryan McMahon's contract again. I don't know. So I give Dave like a C plus.
My phone's about to die, so I gotta get a charger.
Okay.
Yeah, safe moving.
All right. I'll move on. We'll talk about the next one. Or you want to go for a domino? You know what it is? All right. So Dave again. Dave and Sean this time. Dave gave up 1 year Luke Voigt, 1 year Corey Seager, and 1 year Hansel Robles to Sean for 2 year Dansby Swanson at $1 and 4 year $2 Luis Giolito. Thank you, Juliet. Yeah, I can't even say it. Wow, Lucas Giolito. Wow, why can't I say that?
In old Milwaukee, and that's what happens.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Again, this is one of the trades I talked to Dave about, and Dave liked that guy. I said, why the fuck did you get Dansby Swanson? Going back to, I couldn't trade Christian Walker for the fucking life of me. It was a guy I picked up for $1 and tried to trade him a couple of weeks later because he was hot and he was doing good. Well, that's what Dansby Swanson was, and Sean's been trying to trade Dansby Swanson at least to a couple people. Where did Scott go?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyways, and I don't know why Dave gave up Corey Seager because he could have franchised him. What do you think of Luke Voigt, Domino?
I don't think too highly of him. I don't know. I think he was just. What do you think?
I don't know. Overall, I look at this trade. I feel like it was trying to give it a grade on just what you feel on it is a different story. But I looked at this and they made a deal for players they both wanted, and I can't grade that. I feel like so. I still think from the way I looked at it, I wouldn't have done this trade if I was Dave. I would have, I don't know if you could have given up the Luke Voigt to anybody else. I kind of liked him. I was trying to get the Corey Seager from Dave. He wouldn't give him to me for what I was trying to give him, but he liked Lucas Giolito. So I give it a C. I think they kind of both got players they wanted. It's going to help them in the long run. And
I think it was great, but I think, like you said, it's an average trade.
Yeah. And then
your trade.
Yes. So I gave up 4 year $7 Framil Reyes, AAA $6 Histon Keston-Hira, AAA $1 Louis Robert, or is it Roberts? I think it's Roberts. Is it Roberts?
Robert.
Okay, Robert. I don't know. We can look that up, or you guys can text us and let us know what it is. And I also gave it a 2 year, and then he also got the 1 year Christian Walker. I got 1 year Nolan Arenado, 1 year Michael Brantley, 1 year Nelson Cruz, and 1 year Zach Greinke. I'll sustain from my comments. Go ahead, Domino.
Obviously, I think Keston-Hira is phenomenal. If he's going to leave him, he's going to bring him up, then that's a smart move. Same with Robert. If he brings him up, I think it's a win-win for both of you. Greinke's been pitching phenomenal. I know Cruz is on the DL right now, but that Minnesota team's been crushing it, and Brantley's been playing every day in a phenomenal lineup. So I think I give it a B plus for both of you. I think you both won. If he brings those two guys up, it could be help for him. He doesn't fall too far behind in the standing. If not, he's going to be having 2 players or 3 players for the next couple of years. So for a couple of years. So I think it helped both of you.
Yeah, and we're ending on this one. And I kind of just hey, fuck, it's our podcast. Well, I can use this platform for whatever the fuck I want to use it on, and you can say whatever you want when you come on. But Drew did veto this trade. So he said, okay, I'm calling a veto. Here's why. The overall ranking are ranked 38, 57, 9, and 321 players for the overall 158th and 2 prospects with an overall rating of 60. Plus, you are dropping a player who spent 3 weeks promoting on your podcast about how great he was. If he's so great, why is he being dropped? Whatever. Actually, I was supposed to give it to him. It was my mistake on that. But what it was is, again, you vetoed a trade because you looked at rankings, Drew. You just did a trade with someone, and the rankings were insanely apart. I mean, at the time, if you wanted to go off the rankings, your rankings and your trade didn't match at all. And you're giving $15 cash. So how are you supposed to value that cash in any part of it? So next time anyone has to go and veto a trade, just fucking stop it. I'm getting fucking seriously sick of that shit. Sorry, that was a rant.
Scotty, how would you rank the Max and Maddie trade? I thought it was like a B+ for both of them. I thought they both got what they wanted, and if Max is playing for this year and they bring those, and he wants to bring up Hera and Robert if he comes up later in the year, and those would be two guys that could help him if he doesn't fall behind. And obviously, Maddie got players for this year that are definitely all-star players for sure. And we can't hear him.
A D?
D?
A B? An A? You got a piece of paper? Or type it in. Are you getting an F?
D.
A D. Oh, someone got ass raped. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Scotty's first and last time on this podcast. Hey, anyways, real fast. So you gave me a D. We'll move on from that. A trade just went down. Just so you know. You want to hear it? Javier Baez and Kyle Schwarber from Sean go to Max. Max is giving Odor, Trinan, and Jake Arrieta.
And Max gets $5 and a 4-year also.
Yep. Who fucking won that? Javier Baez is $1 for next year. He can franchise for $11. He can franchise him for $11.
Wow.
I think we're glad that Scotty's muted right now because I don't know. And he just picked up Jordan Lyles and he's dropping him. And you said Scotty was out, and you said Max was out of it. Max ain't out of it.
No.
Max is smarter than most of us.
Max is definitely out of it. He's going to be.
He just gave him Odor, Trinan, and Arrieta for Javi Baez and Kyle Schwarber. What the fuck? How come I can't make these trades? Anyways.
Wow. Anyway.
I'm back, bitches.
Whoa. So you gave Matty a D in his trade. How would you rate this trade right now that just went down?
Tell me this one again.
All right. So
so Max gets Javi Baez?
Yes, Javi Baez and Kyle Schwarber. And he's giving away Jake Arrieta, who sucks. Blake Trinan,
he's just a bad pitcher.
Well, yeah, it's a bad pitcher. Blake, and then Trinan's a good closer, and Odor. Why? Why would you do this?
Max, nice job. As much as Maddie got you returned the favor to Ken. I mean to Sean.
Sean.
So Maddie ass raped Max. Max ass raped Sean. So is it really like Maddie ass raping Sean, transitive property?
And Max got $5 in a 4-year also.
What?
Yeah, yeah. He got $5
for Trinan.
So
$5 more on it.
And a 4-year. So he's going to move one of those. He's probably
I'm telling you this right now. Drew, listen. Drew and PJ, if you don't fucking veto this shit.
And Memo.
Memo hasn't actually came up and said veto. Drew and PJ are the only two dipshits that have said that.
I want to know if they were offered to anyone else.
Yeah, hey, were you offered anybody else? Did you go to anybody else and offer this trade, Sean? Because if you didn't, then Memo should be saying something to you right now.
Yes, Memo will be. Wow. That's a hell of a trade for Max.
Wow, Max.
Well done, Max. I guess you are not done. I'm sorry I confused you of selling. All right. We will move on to this week's matchups. Try to get through them really quickly. We'll start off with Maddie and Drew. I got
10-zip. Let's move on.
I got Drew winning 7-3.
Well, you're a dumbass, so. Because right now, have you seen how many starting pitchers I have?
Yes.
I have 16 going this week.
I thought Drew was gonna punt.
Well, even if he doesn't, he started his ace pitcher, his Clayton Kershaw, for 2 years at $35.
Yes. So.
Here, this is what I think of Clayton Kershaw.
You want to fuck him?
Yep.
Anyway,
Well,
what do you got,
he's a good
Scotty?
dude. I got Maddie winning 6-4. He's out. We got a little bit of. We know where we're starting with this, so he's off to a little start. He's Maddie's team's not quite as bad as what he did last week, so I think Maddie's got a little bit of advantage just because we know how he started. So 6-4.
I have 33 fucking Ks, 3 quality starts, 2 stolen bases, and my LVP is higher than nothing.
All right. So you all hail King Maddie. On to me and PJ. Both of us only have 8 starters going this week. Both of us have no stolen bases or saves. I think I'll beat them in saves. I like my offense a little better than PJ's. I like myself 6-4.
I was looking at this, and how many pitchers do you have each going, you said?
8 starts.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I thought it was evenly matched up on that. I'm going to actually give you a 7-2 victory on this one. I feel like you guys should tie in a couple of categories like saves and stolen bases. So take those 2 out of the mix. That's 8. So wait, 7, 8, 7-1. I give you 7-1.
Oh, thanks.
Right. I think I had Domino winning 6-4. You know, Domino's going to have some bat and show up, and PJ doesn't have much pitching to speak of either. So I think you should take him this week, but we'll see. PJ needs this. He's got some guys playing 2 guys that have sold. If he can't win this week, he's got to think about selling himself.
He's got nothing to sell.
He doesn't. He's been offering me stuff, and just it's at least I don't see any value.
Yeah.
If I was so, we'll move on.
Say what you want to say. It's pathetic.
He's there. Yeah, he doesn't have much to give. At least in my opinion. We'll move on to Chris and Memo. Chris should win big this week, so he probably won't. But I got Chris winning 7-3 this week.
I got these guys tying. These are my 2 teams that I feel like should be doing much better than they are. Memo's, how do you have those 3 pitchers and not do well? And I like Memo's team, and I like Chris's team. So I'm like, I didn't know who to pick on this one. These are the 2 teams that aren't in the playoffs right now that I feel like they both might end up in the playoffs. So 5-5.
Yeah, I give Memo the slight edge on this one. I feel like every couple of weeks his pitching is just like balls to the wall is amazing. And then every 2 weeks in between those 2-3 weeks, they're just either not that good or bad. So I give him the edge on it. And also I was kind of looking at it. A couple of his guys I feel like, I don't know, Conforto I know is back from the IL, and Turner's been hot. Soto's been lifting the ball better. And he's got a couple of guys that probably could, go off. So I 6-4 Memo.
All right, we'll move on to 2 teams playing for next year, Ken and Dave. This should be Dave for sure. I think he's got a much better team than Ken. I got Dave 6-4.
Yeah, I got Dave 10-zip. Like, seriously, I think Dave will win 10-zip on this one. And not to look already what has happened, but I think Dave can actually put together a team where Ken won't change his lineup for a couple of days.
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I think Ken's got it. His team's been hot. He's got some play. Like, he tied last week. He had a good week the week before.
What are you talking about? I smoked him the week before.
Yeah.
Did you smoke him the week before? Well,
yeah.
Well, I got Ken 6-4 on this one. Like, Dave just fresh off of selling off, and Ken, I know he sold off too, but he'll be all right if he plays David Dahl.
He still has him on the bench, and he didn't play today. And David Dahl hit his 4th home run on Ken's bench. It says on the notes.
Okay, wow.
I can't believe this next matchup after everything went down. Sean's playing Max this week.
Oh, seriously?
They're playing each other. I just saw that. I'm like, I had Max winning 8-2 this week. I don't know.
I don't even know what to say.
I can't believe they just made that trade and they're playing each other this week. I'm lost for words.
Yeah. Well, I
got
mean,
Max winning this one. I got Max winning this one.
Yeah.
I got Sean on this one big. I'm going opposite you again, Domino. 7-3 Sean. Sean's team just solid. He's a solid squad. It got a little less solid maybe today, but overall, I don't see Sean losing too many matchups. And Max has got a decent team, but not a great team.
With the trade that went down, and I don't even. I'm gonna give Max at 5-3. They're gonna tie a couple spots.
All right, and then the last matchup, Scotty versus Niz. Two teams battling for it. I love the name Scotty again this week. I like the flag. I like the shirt. I got a tie this week. I do like your starting pitching. It's two offensives going, but I got a tie this week.
I get just once again, if it was looking at what Niz did last week, he just went on a tear. He just called up his guy Mitch Keller and he got blasted today.
Oh yeah, he did.
So I don't think he's got a chance at the pitching ratios anymore with how solid my pitching staff is. So I don't see him picking up much in the pitching, and I might be able to pull off a stolen bases and a runs or something. So I'm going 6-4 me. But a lot of that's because of how it's been started.
Yeah.
And of course, this fucker hit a 3-run bomb today. So, a Buxton bomb.
Yeah, I had Scotty win. I don't want to say it. I really don't. But I had Scotty win like 6-4, 5-4, somewhere like that. I think it's a close matchup. Niz's team, it's funny. Like the whole year, he's pretty much been in that like 3-4 kind of range. He's kind of been hovering over, not really losing a week, not winning a week here and there. So that's the same thing.
Sean Oski joining in.
I just got Sean Oski on. I want to know about this trade.
This is pure WWF.
This is raw, baby, raw.
I ran in. What's up?
This is a run-in. What's going on with this trade?
Unprecedented. Sorry, real fast. This is unprecedented. I saw the trade go down. I thought we don't got a lot of time, so Sean, we got to try to make it quick. Maybe like 5 minutes tops. 9:43. Go. You have 2 minutes to discuss your trade.
Trying to go.
Just so you know, it's going to get vetoed in like 5 minutes. But go.
I don't think it would get vetoed. It's not unfair at all. I don't think. So. No. I mean, no. Max and I actually spent probably I'd say a good hour trying to negotiate this thing. So I feel. I mean, it's for this year, and plus also he's looking for a franchise player because somebody gave up Story and somebody has Story now. So that's why he was looking for a franchise player this year, and it sucks losing Javi, but I kind of want to get some faith into my pitching a little bit more and a little bit more hitting too.
So who did you value other than Trinan? Arrieta?
Arrieta's actually look at him the last couple of weeks. That's why I get a little faith in that. Look at him
the last couple of years.
That's okay. Did okay during the Cubs. I don't know. I'm sensing a resurgence a little bit on it. So that's why I want to give it a shot because I don't think I have the assets to probably go for some of the big pitchers like what a memo is going to be given out. So that's why I want to try and go for what I can right now. And thanks to Dom over there too for the Carrasco trade, which I think it's very fair. That one.
We're not talking about that one. We got another minute on your trade. So real fast. So are you gonna play Odor or no?
Yeah, probably. If not, I might just pick up a second baseman. He was a filler, really. So you're telling me that the trade was $5 and a 4-year and Blake Trinan and a 4-year $5 and a 1-year Javier Baez that can be franchised next year, and a Kyle Schwarber that's 4 year or 3 years at like $2. $10. You want him at $10 for 3 years?
Yes, I have offered you trades for Schwarber.
You have not offered me trades for Schwarber. Don't even say that.
I have.
I have not seen a trade for Schwarber. If I do, I don't remember that at all.
I have offered you, but anyways,
because his contract is why I was like, okay, he's $10. No, that seems a little heavy for Schwarber because I know he's like leading off now. He's hitting okay.
So you think Jake Arrieta and Trinan's value is better than Baez's?
For me, yeah, I think so. I think I have a lot of hitting. I mean, I got this guy Chris Bryant. He's pretty good. I know he's a little hung up right now, so I got him. I got a couple, but I don't know. I think he is a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think it's fair. I may have gone a little overboard because of all this trading fever going on.
Would you trade Baez straight up for Garrett Cole?
Yeah, I would have.
I would have done that. If you would offer him to me, I would have gave you Garrett Cole.
Then why don't you make these trades instead of doing hypotheticals after the
to be honest, I would never have thought Baez would ever been available.
Right.
Why? Who would have thought he would have been available?
You know, I don't know. I mean, he's not the same hobby as last year, though.
And hey, real fast, I know, Sean, you weren't here before, but just going back to some of this, Jake Arrieta was on Sean's team last year. And if you go back through some of this, looking at it, he likes Jake Arrieta. You do, don't you?
He has a Kenny Williams thing for him.
Okay.
Williams thing for Jake Arrieta.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you want to make a trade, find someone who somebody likes, send it to him, and be like, hey, what do you want for your guy that you love?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know you were playing Max this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he beats you with your players, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Probably be in third place.
How's that feel, Maddie?
Well, I'll be in first place. I'll be in first place.
You know what? We'll see. I like my hitting a lot. I got a lot there. That's why I'm a little bit maybe overconfident. But I really am just the pitching is what scares me a little bit. Lester is falling behind, too. That one kind of that one gets me.
So Jake Arrieta, that's who you went for.
Yeah, because it was between him and Porcello, and honestly, I liked Arrieta more. I don't know. I think I looked at his last couple weeks. He had a strong start against the Cubs, and I'm thinking like, okay, he's on a really, really good Phillies team, and I think I want to try Arrieta.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That was an awesome run-in. That was an awesome
Thank you.
run-in there.
Yeah, I got a text to see if I jump on it. I'm honored. I'll let you all finish and you do your grind your gears or the hell you do.
We're closing out, so
We're closing out.
Okay. All right.
Nice, Sean.
Nice
see you,
shot.
Sean.
Wow, that was that's on the spots why you're the best in the business. Maddie is the best executive producer in podcasting. Bringing that in there. That's bringing it to you live, folks. That's bringing it to you live. Scotty, any closing remarks? Thanks for joining us.
Just remind everyone this is fun. It's a blast. I love doing all this stuff. I'm sorry if any of it gets a little bit personal at times or anything, but hope we're all in this having fun. We're active. Love you guys.
Yeah, same thing with me. Like PJ and Drew, both of you have pissed me off just by the vetoes because I kind of feel like you're out to get me.
That should continue. That should continue.
I'm sure you guys will not veto this.
Maddie.
Yeah, what?
Keep getting Maddie.
Yes.
Maddie. Putting them on tilt.
Yes, please put me on tilt. But again, like Scott said, this is supposed to be fun. It's crazy. I actually have fun being this mad and getting upset at this shit because I'm so fucking passionate about it. And I do appreciate everyone being trying to update the Google Docs. Everyone being a little patient with it. Dave, could you just put it on pause for a second? I mean, God damn it. My hands are going to hurt. Otherwise than that, let's see what this good week is. It's May. It's Memorial Day. This is when you know what your team is supposedly. And this is where you understand what your team's going to be for the rest of the year. Supposedly it does. So I just got
place team, Maddie. Third place
yes.
team.
I just got a text. I just got a text from Max saying a little birdie just told me that you like Kyle Schwarber.
Very nice. I know a lot's been said over the last couple weeks. It's good to see the league is active. I'm glad Scotty was able to come on. Next week we have PJ coming on. It's been good. I know there's been a lot been said. My biggest thing is you don't need someone to invite you to make a trade with me or whatever. If you want to make a trade, start contacting people. I know a lot of people were saying that you and me trade a lot, Maddie. That's because
Scotty does.
You initiated a lot, so I don't know. But you don't need an invitation from me to talk a trade. So if you ever want to talk trade from here on out, going on next year, whatever, I'm more than happy to listen. So
sounds good, Domino.
All right, again, that's this week. We'll be back to our normal Sunday, hopefully, and our guest will be PJ. So you stay classy, Chicago baseball.
Peace out. See you, everyone.
Peace.